rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy breaks Larry.
Morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Good to see all of you. I hope you're doing well. Man, oh man, what do we got here? Oh, everyone's showing up. Even with the small amount of rain last week, the grass is still brown. Maybe it'll green up. Yesterday, your husband moved a few weeds and all it did was make dirt clouds. I had to close the windows. Well, you know, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes. Oh, Jack Buck. Late and gay, huh? Well, it happens sometimes. You know, there's things that you have to do. It's called life. Works most of the time. Mm. I'm drinking from a white cup today. It's weird because, well, that's how I am. Weird. What can I say? Waiting for the morning report on Mom from Baby Bro about Mom. I hope she's doing okay, Debbie Webb. I hope, you know, prayers are out to her. Man, that's got to be rough. Just not good at all. Well, initially I was thinking I might cover a little bit of some stuff that's been on my mind, but we're probably just gonna hold off on that until tonight. Yeah, because I just don't feel like, you know, there's those mornings where you're like, I just don't care. I don't care to talk about it. I don't care to talk about it. We'll deal with it tomorrow. And of course, tonight I'm on with Mo in the deep end. So if you guys are wanting to watch a little bit more as we sit around and talk about Coburger, that is the thing to do. It's going to be, it's something we do every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we've been going over the Coburger stuff, and you know, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, but I'm hoping that we can get through those documents pretty well. But yeah, it's much more of a deeper dive. So if you run into these folks that are sitting there saying, hey, you know, he's got to be innocent because of this and this and this. No, he pled guilty. it's not that he was forced to plead guilty. It's because he pled guilty. He seems to be pretty much an arse, you know. But yeah, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Long time no see, Allie. Hope you're doing well. Faze, good to see ya. Good to see ya. Oh my gosh, 3 awesome dogs. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, let me get this first article up just so you can, well, damn it, hit the wrong key. Yeah. Looks like they're in Texas. You've got Muslim leaders are planning a Texas community say that they're a target of Islamophobic attacks. Controversy has been swirling for months around one of the largest mosques in Texas, the East Plano Islamic Center, and its plan to construct a large community in the Dallas area featuring 1,000 homes as well as a mosque. The Houston Chronicle reported with the palpable disgust Monday that the conservative Christian politicians have been spreading unfounded claims on the social media against the center, and that the Muslim leaders in the area claim that they have been becoming increasingly targeted by Islamophobic threats and attacks. Well, the community might not have sparked so much opposition, however, if its leaders hadn't been so quick to resort to the left's tried and true tactic of claiming victim status at the sign of the slightest opposition. And if they had been a bit more honest and above board about their intentions, the Chronicle's sneers at those conservative Christian politicians have even made the wild, according to Chronicle, that is, claim that the project discriminated against Christians and Jews and intended to create a Muslim-only community that would impose Islamic law on residents. The Chronicle presents that these charges as if they were self-evidentially ridiculous, but are they really? Take, for example, the resident scholar of the East Plano Islamic Center, the renowned Imam Yasir Kahade, who is a native of Houston. Back in March 2011, Kahade penned a defense of Sharia Islamic law that was designed to reassure jittery non-Muslims, but only ended up arousing more concern that it allayed, as it was a masterpiece of deception, disingenuousness, and dishonesty. Kahade stated with a straw man claiming that the bill to ban Sharia defined it incorrectly as a system of legal, political, military, and religious laws that calls its followers to overthrow the United States government through brutal force, acts of terrorism, and holy war, i.e. jihad, in order to establish itself as the sole political and religious power of the world. That's not what Sharia law is. Kahade even went so far as to declare, "If I did not know any better, I would be the first to jump on the bandwagon and support any efforts to ban such a nefarious system." Sounds great, but it was more deception than patriotism. Sharia does actually call upon Muslims to strive to establish as the sole political and religious power in the world, as the Quran directs Muslims to fight unbelievers until religion is all for Allah. However, this can be accomplished without brutal force, acts of terrorism, and holy war. There's no problem with that. Jihad frames the objections wrongly so that he can dismiss them as false pretenses. Well, Kahade then claims that the bulk of Sharia, approximately 70%, deals with rituals of worship, and then approximately 25% of the Sharia deals with dietary restrictions and personal, economic, and family laws. That leaves only 5% for laws that are intended for application at national level and including patriotism and the theft. However, these laws are intended to be applied in a system of government that derives its rules from Islam. That's swell, but these percentages don't really establish that Sharia is benign. If someone delivers a 10-minute speech and only 30 seconds of it is about how he's going to kill or enslave people, that doesn't mean that he's a peaceful fellow. Kahade compounds the deception that by assuring his readers that Sharia's laws are intended for application at a national level, are only to be applied in a system of government that derives its rules from Islam. The issue at hand is whether any Muslims in the U.S. or elsewhere in the West are working towards establishing governments that derive their rules from Islam in their new home countries. Yet that imperative for conquest is part of the Sharia that Kahadi is busy whitewashing, a manual of Sharia that was certified in 1991 by the clerics of Al-Azhar University. The leading authority in the Islamic world has a reliable guide to Sunni orthodoxy, states unequivocally, as part of the Islamic law, that Caliph makes war upon Jews, Christians, Zions, Zoroastrians until they become Muslim or pay the non-Muslim poll tax. Reliance of the Traveler 09.8. There is no Caliph today, but defensive jihad means that no state authority to initiate it becomes obligatory for everyone. Reliance of the Traveler 0.03. If a Muslim land is attacked in the 1990s, Osama bin Laden declared jihad against the United States on the basis that American troops had trodden on the sacred soil of Saudi Arabia, where Muhammad had said that no non-Muslims should be allowed. In that context, the 9/11 attacks were defensive. This jihad must continue until non-Muslims and to submit Islamic hegemony and the denial of some of their basic rights and enter the social order of Islam by paying the non-Muslim poll tax while remaining in their ancestral religions. The Chronicle will never tell you this, but Kahadi's piece on Sharia is yet more evidence that there is every reason for non-Muslims to be concerned about the East Plano Islamic Center. Yet where any journalist to have the temerity to ask the mosque officials about any of this, he'd be run out of the center faster than you can say Islamophobia. War against the joy. Oh no. Oh-ohs. No wonder the leftists love it. Yeah. My car away for repairs today after a health nurse hit it. Oh, that sucks. Well, at least they didn't hit you. That would be unhealthy. I would hope that doesn't happen. But we're not it's not just the Texas area that has to worry about craziness, because the on-camera arrest of a Rhode Island prosecutor serves as a stark reminder no one is above the law. Why do some people think that they can get away with anything? The law is the law is the law. If you break the law, you have to answer for it. That's how it works. You can't brush it aside and ask officers to do what you wish to continue breaking the rules. And that's ridiculous. But this is not what they attempted to do last Thursday evening. Police were called. I'm looking to see if I've got it. Oh, yeah. Continue with that sport in the ads because that's ridiculous. And I'll pull it up here in a bit. Police were called to a Clark Cook House restaurant on Rhode Island with calls about an unwanted party creating a commotion. Apparently, the owner had called for Flanagan and her party to leave, and they said, "Oh, hell no." But that's not the end of the story. When police showed up, Flanagan and her accomplice created even more chaos for the police. It's going to be pretty interesting because we're gonna watch that. Yeah. But if you need a breakdown of everything that went wrong, I can break it down here. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to actually watch this because the police cam gives a lot of it away, quite a bit, because, well, that's how people are. Good morning. Welcome. Living life with F&D. Good morning. And if you see, you may not be able to see it, but you guys, this was painted by Living Life with F&D. See? Now what you got to do is I don't have her link right up right now, but you can go and you can click on her links. She has a place where you can donate to. She looks like she's doing trying to raise some funds for some mobility devices. I'll let her fill you in. She also does have a place that you can go and check her stuff out. So there you go. If you're interested in helping out there, then you are more than welcome to do that. There we go. All right, let's get to this one and watch what not to do whenever police ask you to leave. Because, well, nothing's better than being stupid. And this lady right here is definitely stupid.
I want you to turn your Bodycam off. Protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off,
Oh, that excuses you. If a citizen asks you to turn it off, you have to turn it off. No. Hey, Spawn Trooper. Good afternoon, everyone, and have a good morning to you. Well, thank you very much, Spawn Trooper. You have a good morning also. It's good to see you, sir. Yeah, protocol is that you turn it off. Citizen request is to turn it off. And don't worry, she's a lawyer. She knows what she's talking about. No. There's a reason why police officers have those body cams, and it's for reasons exactly like this. One, to keep you from getting fired in case you happen to, do something illegal, so that way there's no he said, she said. Number two is to make sure that if they do anything illegal, that it's caught on camera. So it's a win-win situation. There's no denying what the camera is going to show. Mm-hmm.
So they want you guys to leave?
yes, we're gonna leave.
Let's just leave. Let's just make it easy,
We're gonna
okay?
leave. We're gonna make it easy.
No, that's not.
Are you
That's
with them?
not.
I am. Okay. I'm her
That's
husband.
not the point. Can you look at me?
Yeah,
right now?
That's not the point. Can you look at me? Look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you. You pay attention to me because I am so much smarter than you. You self-entitled nitwit. That's not how this works.
Talk over here, okay?
Your protocol is.
Can we all talk? Can we all talk?
Talk over here. They want you to leave.
Your protocol is.
Can we talk?
Who is she to you?
What's that?
No,
Who is she to
nothing.
you?
Nothing.
She is our college friend.
Okay.
She is our college friend. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
You guys just want to know? Do you want them trespass?
Anything we can do. Trespass, yeah. I just need
Trespass, get them out.
Please. It's the only way.
Because they're being difficult. Trespassed? Oh no, we want them to leave. Like we just want them gone. It's not a hard concept. And they're like, we don't want to go. We want to be here. I have the right to be here. Please trespass them.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Do we want to chat?
I know that your protocol is.
So you're trespass, so we got to leave now. Unless you want to be in
We're not
handcuffs.
trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing.
guys
Number
are
one. Number
trespassing.
two.
He's just notified you that you're trespassing. He just told you you're trespassing. You got to go now.
Say to you. You're
Your
trespass.
number
Let's go.
one. Number one.
I don't
Number
want to
two.
arrest you guys.
You're not going to arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that
We got to go. We got to go.
protocol
Let's go.
is.
Let's
Can we
go.
calm down for
Citizen
1
protocol
second?
is.
But officer, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you that this is what we're going to do. Let me explain. Officer, you're not listening to me. I know better because I've practiced law and I've had a lot to drink tonight. But I am so much smarter than you, and you're not listening. This is I feel bad for any man that gets involved with a woman like this. You just don't ever listen to me. She closes her eyes and she holds up her fist. You're just not listening. Hold on, officer. I can handle this. We're fine. Oh.
If we ask you to
I
turn
don't
the
want.
body
I don't
camera
want to
off.
deal with this. Let's
Okay.
go.
No.
I understand you don't want to deal with it, but the
Sweetheart. This right here is a mistake, ladies. Just saying. I stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night. Awesome. Okay, that is such a bigger thing when someone tells me to calm down when I am calm as ice. I mean, I could not get any calmer. And then that, wow, why do people say, please calm down? Yeah, I'm with you on that, Spawn Trooper, where I'm already calm. Now you're just, you don't understand. You don't want to deal with it, but I'm smarter.
Protocol is, and your protocol is if I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn.
Oh, yeah, the attitude. The attitude. Oh, they're so smart. The protocol is. Oh.
It off, and that's your protocol.
She's a lawyer.
Oh, she's a fucking lawyer. Not just any lawyer, but a fucking lawyer. Well, that's not how it works. I'm feeling ignored. Well, I'm sorry that you're feeling ignored. Good to see you, Tirim.
So she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
I gotta see that again. That was beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry. We gotta watch that one. Just watch her face. Oh my God. The look that she gets is amazing. Oh.
Number one. Number
I don't want to
two,
arrest you guys.
You're not going to arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that
We gotta go. We gotta go.
protocol
Let's go.
is
Let's
the
go.
Calm down for
citizen
1
protocol
second.
is if we
Yeah.
ask you to
I
turn
don't
the
want.
body
I don't
cam
want to
off.
deal with this. Let's
Okay.
go.
No, no.
I understand you don't want to deal with it,
Okay,
but the
let's go.
protocol
Wait,
is,
wait,
and your
can-
protocol
can
is
you
if I
relax?
ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and
turn
that's
the
your
body-
protocol.
She's a lawyer. So she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
No, it is. That's law.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Just the look on their face is like, I don't give a shit. Let's go. Oh, calm down for a second. Please for a second. Please move on. Good morning, Star. How you doing? Alcohol has rotted through your brain, lady. She did not like the fact that she was like, well, that's some fucking lawyer bullshit. Now move the fuck on. I'm being really nice right now. And if I wanted to deal with someone like you, I would just go home to my wife that does this shit all the time. But her, instead, I can't arrest her, but I can arrest you. Oh.
We're going. Let's go.
Excuse.
We're leaving.
Please don't.
We're leaving.
Please don't put
Please don't put your hands on me. No, lady, lady, you've been trespassed.
your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's go.
Let's go.
He just said, can you get your children out of here? She's like, you what? You did just what? They're acting like little kids.
They're two full-grown women and mothers of children. All right.
We just need to take.
Oh yeah, and here he goes.
We just need to take.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG. I'm an AG. What are you
What's wrong with you?
What
What's
are
wrong
you
with you?
probable cause to detain me for?
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
Because I'm what? You have
Can you relax? Sir, she's not doing anything wrong. She's
AG.
not leaving.
I'm an AG.
She's the AG.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG. I'm a GG. Okay. What did you come into? Well, you came into Taser. That would be funny. That would be funny. But no, what you walked into was a woman thinking that she could tell anybody what in the hell's going on. You got to turn your body cam off. This is exactly why he doesn't have his body cam on, why he doesn't have it turned off, and why it's so important to have it, because then you see her attitude. The way that she acted was inappropriate. And he's just saying, listen, you're not above the law just because you're an AG. You're out here. They've trespassed you. You were giving them a hard time. I'm an AG and I'm full of the ADP, and that's what the ADA is. Speak to the PDs so my PL can talk to your CO. Ossifer, I swear to drunk I'm not God.
You're not. She's not being arrested. Let's go.
No, she already has been trespassed and she wants to stand there and argue. That's not how, that's exactly how this works.
I'm not being arrested. You're putting me in cuffs. I'm not being arrested.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No, I'm an AG.
Her badge is in the car. You want to go get a badge?
Let me tell
You want me to get her badge? Come on, bro. Come on. She's important. Amazing muff grazer.
you something. You're
Buddy,
arresting.
get the hell out of here. Buddy, just seriously.
You're arresting an AG. Let me tell you something.
Are you arrested right now? No.
You're putting me in handcuffs and you're Mirandizing. You're not Mirandizing me.
Relax.
Buddy, you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an AG.
Gonna regret it.
Take your hands off me.
We will get the
Take your
license.
hands off
Dave,
me.
we will get the license.
She's getting detained.
No.
No. We will get the license.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Boosh-canoe. How you doing, Boosh? She's trespassing. You're trespassing. I'm not trespassing. Sounds like an ADA to me. Assistant District Attorney. No, she's just both of these right here. He warned them to leave. But let me explain. No, there's no explaining. Leave. You know what? We can explain down the street. We can explain down the street. All they had to do was just turn around and walk away. He told their men there, if you can call them men, you might want to shut them up and get them down the street. And they're just like, yeah, we have to deal with this shit all the time at home. You think I'm going to drag her down the street? Shit, you deal with her. You see how the guys aren't fighting too hard against the cops. They're just sort of like, oh no, please stop. Please stop, officer. Please stop.
Get back right now. You're detained.
No, I freaking. No.
Get back.
He's like, I'm dyslexic and drunk. Honest, officer. I swear to God, I'm a dog.
Your cuffs. Yep.
Right here. It's okay.
All right, just go from the car.
Here. No. I'm right here.
Get back.
Oh, yeah. She just pulled those cuffs off. That's going to be that. Yeah. This is about to turn really bad for her because she's going to pull her hands out of there. She's
no. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Get back.
Come on, Dave.
No.
And now you've got a resisting arrest on top of it. Oh, and yeah.
All right.
Dave, I'm right here.
No, babe, please, I'm scared.
I'm right here.
Please don't do this. Please.
I'm scared. Well, you weren't scared like 30 seconds ago, were you? Not even a minute ago. You were talking shit. You were just like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do, officer. Well, listen, she's smarter than you. She's an attorney. She's a lawyer. And you need to listen to her. You need to listen to her. Now you're scared. You wanted to talk shit 5 minutes ago. Oh yeah. You talk shit enough that you got thrown out of the damn place. But now, now you're miss. I'm scared.
Right here.
No, I'm not gonna find hands on after.
I'm right here.
No.
Okay.
I'm right here, dear. He's gonna go home and get some sleep tonight. Oh, she's a solid 2. She's just not into BDSM like her college friend there. Aggressive grab her ass. Assist.
No, please don't do this, my friend.
I'm right here.
No,
Right
no,
here.
no, babe.
I'm right here.
Babe.
And because you pulled out of those cuffs, that means that he's going to make those even tighter on you.
I'm right here.
No, babe.
Relax. Relax. Relax.
No,
Relax.
What's wrong with you?
Relax.
We don't want to put you in handcuffs. Let's go. Let's go.
No, babe.
You're overreacting. You're adding charges. You're overreacting.
Put me with my friend.
No. Don't, please take my hands up. Please take them out of handcuffs. No, please take them.
You were overreacting. You didn't have to have this happen. Get in the car.
No.
No, now you're resisting even more. Can we say high maintenance woman? No, I would say that this is the kind that ends up in divorce, because if she's acting like this out in public, imagine how she acts at home.
Babe, no!
I got you today.
I'm right here.
Get in the
No!
car. Just put her in.
No!
Get back. Get back, bro. In the car. Get in the car. Get your feet in the car.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Oh, it was her. It was her daughter. Dad, no! Oh, call an exorcist. Oh, that was her dad. Yeah, maybe Dad should have like taught his daughter this is not how you act.
Get your feet in the car.
No!
Get your feet in the fucking car.
Dad!
Babe, I'm right here.
No, babe!
Oh, I'm telling you, you keep acting like this, and what's going to happen is they will hog tie you in that car to make sure your feet stays in the car. The worst Jack in the Box ever. That's right, Zach.
No!
Get your feet in the car.
Who the fuck are...
Get
Don't
your
touch
feet
me!
in the car. You're a grown adult.
Who the fuck are you? I am the cock. I mean, I am the cop. I am the cop that's about, man, what a slip of the mouth. I am the cop that is going to arrest you. I'm the one that's going to be taking your happy ass to jail. Oh, you idiot. So the officer told her friend, obviously, they want you to leave. Let's just leave. They're absolutely professional in doing so, not screaming or shoving by any means. And how did Flanagan react? Well, they're not trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing. He was like, you're kidding me, right? The owner told you several times they don't want you here. And then she immediately began the power grab after her friend mentioned that she was a fucking lawyer. The police began to remove them from the property. It's here that Flanagan started saying, I'm an AG, I'm an AG. It doesn't matter what you are. If you're breaking the law, you pay the price. Just ask any of the Democrats who forcibly try to put themselves in ICE facilities to protest the arrest of illegal immigrants. They got arrested as well. Get this. In the midst of all this confrontation, Flanagan made demands for police to turn off their body cameras, insisting that it was a civilian request. Let's get something straight here. It's not up to the civilian if a body cam gets turned off. It's up to the officer. The Newport Police Department's policy says as such, indicating that an officer may determine whether to proceed with recording. And so, once again, Flanagan was out of her league, making demands based on her position of power. She continued to question the officer's authority and insisting that her position as AG was above whatever anyone else was requesting. When finally enough was enough and it was time for her to go in cuffs, and how did she react? Big surprise, by resisting arrest. Well, during her arrest, she notes that officers were going to regret it, laughing about it. Her colleague was just as bad, resisting arrest, to the point that it took several of them to get her in the car. The AG's office noted that it's reviewing the incident. The Newport Police Department stood by its officers, believing that they did the right thing, and they most certainly did. The behavior of Flanagan is unacceptable. It's one thing to resist a trespassing charge and arguing that protocol is required when it clearly isn't, but it's another to threaten police officers with a power grab, telling the officers they were going to regret it. You're kidding me, right? I hope others learn from this as well. A position of power doesn't give you the right to run all willy-nilly, ignoring everything and blaming it on protocols. You have a sworn to a public duty, and you need to serve that duty. Otherwise, people are put at risk. Imagine what would have happened if Flanagan and her unruly accomplice had hurt someone in their drunken rant. Hell, I'm proud of those Newport officers. They did a damn good job, and honestly, I hope they get commended for their efforts. And as for Flanagan, and for that matter, her friend, well, honestly, they need to apologize for the actions and accept whatever penalty is handed to them. Trying to talk their way out of this or insist that the officers did wrong is not the course of action to take here. The video clearly shows both women in absolute wrong, ignoring the law every step of the way. Is she still the AG, or is she now an unemployed AG? Oh, she'll probably remain an AG. I mean, I can't see how she wouldn't, but it also means that, you know, that adds a whole new layer that I'm sure they don't want to deal with. It's crazy, crazy stuff. I don't understand why these fools have no idea. I mean, it's almost like they're completely clueless to the things that's going to get them in trouble. You have your favorites. Well, good morning to you. Good morning to you. It's that time to show you some really, and I wanted to show a little bit of this last night. It is not a video. It is a nice story. And if you haven't heard of this, well, there's probably a reason. Okay. Let me bring this bad boy up, because it goes to show how people are complete morons whenever it comes to actual law. Before I do that, because this is going to be a long one, so I hope you're strapped in, buckled up, ready to go. We're gonna go grab some coffee. As soon as we grab some coffee, it's gonna be game on for this one, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love every single bit of it. So go grab some coffee, go grab some alcohol, go grab some milk and cookies, and I will be right back.
Sandy shores, get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to effing see. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Whoa, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand, Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand, Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Otters in the surf, hummingbirds in the sky, Rambo honks the horn and spits in Shizzy's eye. Oh my! Oh, Rambo's rolling. rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the wave. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the waves. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Oh, Rambo's rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an epic blast. So here's to Rambo, otters and hummingbirds by the edge of the ocean. And Shizzy, well, he might just be there too. Well, here's to Rambo, otters and hummingbirds by the edge of the ocean. And Shizzy, well, he might just be there too.
Yeah. On July 22nd of 2025, the court issued an order to show cause regarding plaintiff's opening brief. Now, if you're wondering what it is, this is as Aregula Esther Mavi commission versus the commissioner of the Social Security Administration. It has nothing to do with anything except this is a case that happened in Arizona. The court did so because the opening brief was replete with citation deficiencies, including those consistent with AI-generated hallucinations. The court ordered plaintiff's counsel Moran Bam to show good cause as to why sanctions should not result. On July 31st, plaintiff's counsel responded to the order to show cause. The issue is now ripe. So she responded to it on July 31st. And her response wasn't very good because they make a notation here that plaintiff, Miss Mavi, is advised to read this order and is particularly directed to its final 2 pages. I read the final 2 pages last night, but we're going to give it a little bit of background here. Through her counsel, filed her complaint on February 28th, 2025. Through counsel, plaintiff filed her opening brief on May 27th. The Social Security Administration's response brief was filed on June 12th, and no reply followed. Now, during its review of the opening brief, the court discovered that a majority of the cases cited by plaintiff in her opening brief either did not exist, did not support the proposition for which they were cited, which means that they were like, I mean, if she had them there, they just didn't even go to what she was saying, or misquoted or miscited the authority. It appeared to the court that at least some of the purported cases were AI hallucinations. Now, if you're wondering what Unitas v. Hayes is, it says identifying the markings of a hallucinated case generated by AI tools, including these case names that appear to be real but do not exist in actual courts and dates. This court issued its order to show cause and directed plaintiff's counsel to show good cause as to why sanctions should not be issued under Rule 11 of the Federal Civil Rules for Civil Procedure and this court's Rules of Practice and Procedure, local rules. The court also reminded plaintiff's counsel that proceeding pro hoc vice in this district is a privilege, not a right. In case you're wondering what pro hoc vice is, pro hoc vice means that they're from out of state and they wanted to be part of this case that was happening in another state because that's where they got hired. Now, you can apply for pro hoc vice unless it's revoked. And this is where she screwed up really bad. Plaintiff's counsel herein, or Miss Bam, which would be the counsel, timely filed her response to the show order cause. In her response, she acknowledges full responsibility for all filings submitted in this matter, including the opening brief. Counsel further avers that after the court issued its OSC, a thorough review of the cited legal authorities in the open brief was undertaken. Several case citations were either inaccurate or did not support her propositions. In a response, she stated that she is the owner and signing attorney of the firm that brought this litigation. She outlines the general procedure for drafting filings, which involves a 4-step process. First, the counsel screens all incoming cases for merit. Second, the firm's managing paralegal assists briefs to attorney brief writers. Third, every brief is reviewed by an on-staff supervising attorney who reviews the brief's legal arguments, formatting citations, and ensures that the brief is legally sound. Now, to do this, the supervising attorney spot checks the legal authorities and citations outlined in the brief. Finally, Ms. Bam personally reviews and edits briefs for filing, relying in good faith on the work of both the contracted attorney and the internal reviewing process. Next, the counsel details the steps involved in submitting the opening brief in this case and submits exhibits to cooperator assertions. Counsel personally reviewed plaintiff's claim and deemed it meritorious. Second, counsel's managing paralegal assigned the case to the attorney contract writer. Counsel underscores that the attorney who contracted to author the opening brief in this case is hereinafter known as the contractor, has strong qualifications to practice Social Security disability law. After a contractor was assigned, counsel's firm forwarded the contractor to an announcement from the United States District Court for the District of New Mexico regarding the use of AI in drafting filings. The announcement stated, "This bulletin serves as a critical reminder to all the litigants of all their obligations under Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure to ensure all legal contentions are warranted by existing law, especially in light of the increasing use of AI in preparing motions and other filings. While acknowledging the potential benefits of the AI, the court has observed instances of AI-generated arguments and citations to non-existent cases, a practice that is strictly prohibited and may result in sanctions to uphold the integrity of the judicial system." Now, when it was sent the announcement to the contractor, counsel's firm noted that the announcement applies to every jurisdiction as the courts are cracking down on the use of AI. Contractor was requested by firm to acknowledge receipt of the announcement. Contractor did also. Now, the contractor submitted the draft opening brief to the attorney employed by counsel's firm who supervises contracted brief writers, hereinafter attorney supervisor. Counsel subsequently reached out to attorney supervisor to check, and it's funny, they keep calling her attorney supervisor, check on the brief progress, and attorney supervisor responded that she was nearly finished editing it. Now, she also reported to counsel that contractor's arguments were great, but she also observed that the contractor included an improper medical opinion evaluation and the supportability consistency analysis wasn't flushed out. Other non-citation related deficiencies were noted. She ended her email by stating it was her birthday weekend, so she would finish editing on the next business day. Counsel responded to an attorney supervisor that they were not on the same page and the brief was late. Counsel set a meeting to discuss further, and attorney supervisor responded she was experiencing some health struggles. Sound familiar, doesn't it? I've got some health struggles. I got to cough. Counsel set the meeting to discuss further and responded she was experiencing some health struggles and assured counsel she understood counsel's expectations. Finally, counsel and attorney supervisor discussed the briefing prior to it being signed and submission, and it was filed. In her response, counsel states neither I nor the supervising staff attorney knowingly submitted false or non-existent citations to the court. The brief writer in question was experienced and credentialed, and we relied on her professionalism and prior performance. At no point did we intend to mislead the court or submit citations not grounded valid legal authority. Nonetheless, the counsel takes responsibility for the content of the opening brief. In addition, counsel outlines the procedures that will be followed within her firm to avoid reoccurrence of this problem, including requiring all brief writers to provide research logs and requiring all supervisor reviewing attorneys to check each citation. Counsel reports contractor's contractual relationship with counsel and her firm has ended. I've fired them. Counsel asks the court to refrain from imposing sanctions. Counsel further implores the court not to revoke counsel's pro hoc VJ status because doing so would reduce Social Security claimants' access to the courts. Counsel points to the court Exhibit 13, the citation correction table identifying the problematic citation, their intended propositions, and the accurate authorities that should have been cited. Counsel further requests leave to file an amended opening brief. Now, there's some applicable law here. Rule 11B of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure provides an pertinent part by presenting to the court a pleading, written motion, or other paper, whether by signing, filing, submitting, or later advocating it, an attorney or unrepresented party certifies that to the best of that person's knowledge, information, or belief formed after an inquiry reasonable under the circumstances, the claims, defenses, and other legal contentions are warranted by existing law or by a non-frivolous argument for extending, modifying, or reversing existing law or for establishing new law. Thus, under Rule 11, a signature on filing certifies to the court that the signer has read the document, has conducted a reasonable inquiry into the facts and law, and is satisfied that the document is well grounded in both and is acting without improper motive. Accordingly, any party who signs a pleading, motion, or paper has affirmation duty to conduct a reasonable inquiry into the facts and law before filing bullshit. Hey, is that Mayor? The Mayor Dan? Well, I'll be. You know, it's getting close to that time of season. That time of season is the time to be scared, to be frightened, to be very scared. It's coming. It's coming. It's getting that time of year. Good morning, Mayor Dan. So good to see you. I hope you're having an interesting day, because this is crazy. The applicable standard is one of reasonableness under the circumstances. Courts must apply an objective test in assessing whether the rule has been violated. A violation of the rule does not require subjective bad faith. If Rule 11 is found to have been violated, sanctions may be imposed. And this goes for attorneys or even non-attorneys that are filing frivolous crap inside of a court case. This applies to them also. Counsel has not challenged either side's authority analysis. It's helpful to begin with an overview of the citation-related deficiencies in the opening briefing. Case citations begin on page 13 of that brief, and they're summarized as follows. Opening on 13, Revels versus Berryhill. The case exists, but the quote is incorrect. Revels v. Berryhill. Case exists, quoted language does not exist in the case. Counsel writes that in Revels, the court held that fibromyalgia symptoms are entirely subjective and must be evaluated accordingly. Although Revels discusses at length consideration of the evidence in fibromyalgia cases, and thus the proposition is generally correct, Revels contained no such quoted language. Bannock v. Barnhart. Case exists. Proposition is correct. So they did get something correct here. This is number 4. Garrison v. Colvin. Case exists. Proposition is incorrect. Counsel states that Garrison at 116 requires an RFC to reflect all impediments in combination. Garrison does not contain such a requirement at page 1016. The cited page addresses activities in daily living and pain testimony. Number 5, Calia v. Halter. Case exists. Proposition is generally correct. So they're getting some things correct here. Citation is correct, except it's a 10th Circuit case. The proposition is incorrect. Counsel states Barrett remanded because ALG did not properly assess the impact of claimants' obesity on their fibromyalgia and degenerative disc disease. But Barrett makes no mention of obesity, fibromyalgia, or disc disease. As you can see, and we're only down to 7. Case exists. Proposition is incorrect. Brown Hunter. Case exists. Quote is mostly correct. But counsel does not attribute the internal quoted inside language properly, and the quotation omits a word, but those issues would not serve as a basis for a Rule 11 violation. These are just errors that they're finding. So something like this, case exists, quote, mostly correct, and just there, it omits a word, which, you know, it happens. Mistakes happen whenever you're doing things. Case exists, quote is incorrect. Garrison v. Colvin, case exists, quoted language partially exists, but they include the following quoted language as I'm not even going to try to say it. The cite to Garrison, the critical difference between the activities of daily living activities and full-time job. This alone is not basis for a Rule 11 violation. The latter portion of the quoted language is found nowhere in Garrison. Solemn chatter, case exists, cited page number is incorrect. It appears in the proposition. Hobbs v. Com, case does not exist. 13, case exists, quoted language does not exist in the case. Treviso v. Berryhill, case exists, proposition is incorrect. Brink v. Commoner of Social Security Administration, case exists, quote is slightly incorrect, but proposition is arguably in opposite. Lubin v. Comer of Social Security, case exists, quoted language does not exist in the case. Brown v. Colon, case does not exist. Warford v. Berryhill, case does not exist. Garrison, case exists, states that Garrison holds ALG must connect symptoms, but the proposition is arguably supported. Therefore, of the 19 instances of citations included in plaintiff's opening brief, 5 to 7 of those cases exist and appear as quoted or generally stand for the proposition for which they are cited. Put it another way, well over the majority of the citations provided to this court in plaintiff's opening brief were fabricated, misleading, or unsupported. Hey, Star. Hey, Kathy. Hey, SMN. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a great day. Having a great day, yes. Oh my. Well, over the majority, notably, counsel has not explicitly admitted to using AI to prepare her opening brief. Instead, counsel points to contractor's familiar failure to make such an admission, states the inability to verify the sources, raised concern that AI generated text may have been improperly included in the draft. Defendant did not raise any of the above issues in the answering brief. Indeed, the only issue with any citation raised by defendant was plaintiff's citation to Revels on page 13 of the opening brief. Similarly, counsel states that she's implemented new procedures to ensure it doesn't happen again. Thus, the response concedes these errors are likely hallucinations and no other explanation for the many deficient and non-existent issues that they had. Now, this court, however, need not take any of these findings as to whether counsel for her subordinate actually used generative AI to draft any portion of her opening brief, because such a finding is not required, because citing non-existent case law or misrepresenting the holdings of a case is making a false statement to a court. It does not matter if AI told you so. Now, because the opening brief's fictitious citations contain all the markings of a hallucinated case created by AI, including a name of a case that appears real, identification to an actual court with an actual judge's initials and a date, and because no other explanation for the fabricated citations was given to the court has considered case law pertaining to AI and to Rule 11. In counsel's timeline of events leading to the filing of the opening brief, counsel writes that counsel and attorney supervisor discussed the brief, reviewed it prior to signing the submission, and it was sent to the supervising paralegal for filing. Due to the majority of citations being either inaccurate, non-existent, it's apparent to the court that counsel did not review the citations. Thus, although counsel does not expressly admit her review failed, which it plainly did, it stands to reason that if counsel had reviewed the brief she was signing her name to, she would have removed the fictitious, misleading, and unsupported citations. It's equally apparent that attorney supervisor did not follow the firm's internal review process, her own process that she set forth, as outlined in the response to the order to show cause, mentioning checking authorities and citations. Failures occurred at every level of counsel's identified process, a process that counsel herself describes as ensuring legal integrity and compliance with FRCP 11. Of further note, counsel's response to the order to show cause does not contain a single citation to any controlling authority regarding Rule 11. Instead, counsel states she takes full responsibility, while also repeatedly emphasizing that she relied on others to prepare the opening brief that she alone signed. Counsel's dearth of citations in her response is unfortunate, particularly given that the controlling authority clearly holds, as discussed. Violation of Rule 11b. The court has spent considerable amount of time researching the burgeoning body of case law exploring conduct similar to that in this case. In the first published federal appellate case addressing the issue, they said, at the very least, the duties imposed by Rule 11 require that attorneys read and thereby confirm the existence and validity of the legal authorities on which they rely. Indeed, we can think of no other way to ensure that the arguments made based on those authorities are warranted by existing law. They also concluded that an attorney's submission of a brief relying on non-existent authorities reveals that she failed to determine that an argument she made was legally tenable. The court summarily found that the attorney's filing presented a false statement of law to the court and that the attorney had failed to make an inquiry into the validity of her arguments, much less the reasonable inquiry required by Rule 11 and long-standing precedent. Other courts around the country have arrived at the same conclusion, not only with respect to the citations to non-existing cases that were fabricated by A, but also to citations to cases that did not stand for the propositions put forth. After considering the volume of the ever-expanding case law and the particular facts of the case, the court finds that counsel violated Rule 11b2 by repeatedly citing this court to non-existing cases. They're pretty pissed because it cost them a lot of time and a lot of money for them to read every single one of their bullshit, cases that they made and do the research that she should have already done. Moreover, counsel's emphasis on the fact that she relied on other attorneys who drafted and edited her opening brief is unavailing. Under Rule 11, the signing attorney cannot leave it to some trusted subordinate or to other of his partners to satisfy himself that the paper filed is actual legal responsible. By signing, he represents not merely the fact that it did so, but also the fact that he personally has applied his own judgment. While counsel acknowledges her response that she bears the responsibility as a signed attorney, her other language in the response deflects that responsibility. For example, she states the inclusion of improper citations was unintentional. The statement completely misses the mark. Counsel signed the opening brief, did not verify the accuracy of any of her citations, and decision to completely cede the accuracy of her brief to other lawyers was intentional. Her subsequent decision to signify accuracy by signing her brief, and then she clearly has not verified its contents, was intentional. Her actions were plainly impermissible. If the court finds the attorney has violated, it may impose an appropriate sanction. Frivolous filings are those that are both baseless and made without a reasonable and contempt inquiry. In the case at bar, the court provided counsel with notice and the opportunity to be heard. After considering dozens of similar cases across the country, controlling authority and counsel's actions in this case, the court finds that Rule 11 sanctions are appropriate. As detailed, plaintiff's opening brief is riddled with fabricated, misleading, or unsupported citations. This situation is indeed akin to contempt of court. Left with the surviving authority, entire sections of the filing's analysis are nearly wholly unsupported. Clearly, there was no reasonable inquiry made into its contents. I just call you Gimpy. The district court has a wide discretion in determining the appropriate sanction for a Rule 11 violation. And we'll just get down here to the meat of this. Because of her using AI, the district court ordered monetary sanctions and directed counsel to send a letter to each judge falsely identified as the author of the fake opinions. Court notes that in some recent cases dealing with fabricated citations, district courts have openly questioned whether monetary sanctions alone suffice. For example, the district court observed that a fine and public reprimand were insufficient because if they were ineffective deterrents, there would not be so many cases to cite. That court's point is well taken. Finally, the court observes that in Grant v. City of Long Beach, where counsel filed an opening brief replete with misrepresentations and fabricated case law, the Ninth Circuit struck the brief and dismissed the appeal for failing to comply with federal rules of appellate procedure. In doing so, the Ninth Circuit observed that once only the accurate citations remained for consideration, what was left was of little use to the court. Now, at the case in bar, the court considers counsel's actions when determining what sanctions are sufficient, but not greater than necessary to achieve the aims of Rule 11c4. At the outset of this analysis, the court recognized that counsel was contrite in her response to the order to show cause. While she clearly cast blame on her subordinates, she ultimately took responsibility for the opening brief and its many deficiencies. Contrary to other cases, she did not attempt to double down on the citation's validity, and she was not recalcitrant, but regret and apologies are not necessarily enough to avoid the imposition of sanctions for the submission of non-existent legal authority. She cited to many other cases that did not support the purported propositions or otherwise misleading or misquoted. Further, it was not counsel who disclosed these deficiencies to the court after initially filing her opening brief. Rather, it was the court that had to point out the issues to counsel. And it was only after the court entered its order to show cause that counsel sought to file an amended opening brief. For many reasons, the court declines counsel's invitation to forego sanctions and allow counsel to file an amended opening brief. First, such a result would not be proportionate to the violation of Rule 11 present in the case. It is not an instant where a single fabricated case was included in a brief. This is a case where the majority of authorities cited were either fabricated, misleading, or unsupported. That is egregious. Second, the pitfalls of utilizing AI are now well known in the profession. In the few years that generative AI has affected court filings, it has become well established that many harms flow from the submission of fake opinions. Indeed, before submitting her opening brief in the case, counsel had directed another district court's warning about the proper usage of AI to an attorney who wrote briefs for her, noting that courts were cracking down on its use. And yet, despite this warning, her knowledge about the least one court's admonishment regarding AI and verification of citations, counsel herself took no discernible steps to verify the accuracy of the filings she submitted in this case. Third, with respect to counsel's request in her response to simply allow her to file an amended opening brief with correct citations, the court rejects the invitation to consider that actual authorities stand for the proposition that the bogus authorities were offered to support. That's a stroke of pure luck for these lawyers, and one that did not remediate the waste and harm their misconduct wrought. Further, any sanctions discount on a basis would amplify the siren call of unverified AI for lawyers who are already confident in their legal conclusion. This court will have no part in that. Fourth, the entire litigation has been derailed by counsel's actions. Instead of underside providing a report and recommendation to the district on the merits of this matter, the court has been left with no choice but to survey the case law regarding any attorney misconduct related to the use of AI. Fifth, counsel cited 3 fictitious cases that were attributed to 3 judges of this court. It is unclear what the fallout will be from those fake cases with those judges' initials attached to them, and there is potential harm to the reputation of judges and courts whose names are falsely invoked as authors of bogus opinions, and to the reputation of a party attributed with fictional conduct. And that leads the court to a final critical point. The use of fake opinions promotes cynicism about the legal profession and the American judicial system. You think? To be clear, this court is not opposed to the responsible use of AI in our profession, but a lawyer who wishes to use AI ethically must ensure that the legal propositions and authority generated are trustworthy. The lawyer has the duty to check all those cases. See, even the judge here is saying, "Hey, go ahead, use the AI. It can help you finish out a brief, but you better make sure that those citations are correct." After carefully considering counsel's conduct in this case as well as sanctions imposed by other courts, the court finds below sanctions are the least severe necessary to satisfy Rule 11. And here it goes. The pro hoc vice status of counsel shall be revoked and counsel will be removed from this case. Plaintiff's opening brief shall be stricken. Counsel will be ordered to promptly serve a copy of this order on plaintiff, who will in turn be afforded time to engage new counsel or proceed as a self-represented litigant. Counsel will be ordered to write a letter to the 3 judges to whom she attributed fictitious cases and notify them of the use of fake cases with their respective names attached. Counsel will be ordered to transmit a copy of this order to every judge who presides over any case of which she is an attorney of record. And the clerk of court's office will be directed to serve a copy of this order on the Washington State Bar Association, of which counsel is a member. Now, if counsel is a member of any other state bar anywhere else, she shall serve a copy of this order on that state bar's office. First, revocation of counsel's pro hoc vice status is appropriate in this circumstance. So, as another judge of this court has stated, and as this court quoted in its show cause order, admission pro hoc vice to this court is a privilege, not a right, and can be revoked for further failure, to conform to the applicable federal and local rules to follow all orders of the court. Second, plaintiff's opening brief will be ordered stricken after exercising the deficiency. Now, that was just the first part. We're getting into the second part, and we've got 4 more pages to go. Second, plaintiff's opening brief will be ordered stricken after exercising the deficient citations and their purported propositions. What's left of the opening brief is of little use to the court. However, the court is bound to impose the least restrictive sanctions under Rule 11 because the court recognizes that this order will result in there being no operative opening brief. The court will order counsel to serve a copy of this order on plaintiff, and the court will allow plaintiff additional time to engage new counsel or represent herself. Plaintiff will be afforded 45 days from the date she is served with this order to either have new counsel file a notice of appearance or file a notice with the court stating that she will proceed self-represented. Either notice is filed, the court will enter amended scheduling order. In addition, the court will require counsel to send a copy of this order to every judge who is presiding over a case in which the counsel is attorney of record, to every presiding judge in every state and federal case in which they were attorney of record, and to all chief judges in a judicial district state where the record established counsel litigated throughout the entire state. Exhibit 5 to counsel's response to show cause order indicates contractor was tasked. Those matters were redacted. Counsel has indicated that she has a nationwide practice and that remedial measures described regarding the 3 judges to whom counsel attributed non-existent cases, counsel will be ordered to alert those judges of the same. The sanction represents the court's effort to minimize potential harms of those fictitious cases to those jurists. Finally, the court will direct the clerk of courts to report this discipline imposed against counsel to the State Bar Licensing Authority. I love that. Thus, the above sanctions are for the court finds appropriate pursuant to Rule 11. It also recognizes inherent authority to sanction counsel. And we go down here to the cautionary tale. I'm going to skip over some of that. Finally, the court would be remiss if it did not note its concern about counsel's review of her opening brief. The concern detailed below did not result in the sanctions imposed above. Counsel avers in her response to the order to show cause. After she received the order to show cause, she conducted a thorough review of the cited legal authorities in the opening brief. Counsel provides the court with an Exhibit 13, which purports to be a citation correction table identifying the problematic citations, their intended propositions, and the accurate authorities that should have been cited. However, that exhibit does not tell the whole picture. For example, the first problematic case listed in 13 is Barrett v. Estru, as detailed supra. Though the first case cited by counsel in the opening brief, Revels did not contain the quoted language that the counsel claimed it did. Next, counsel's corrected table omits her brief's first citation to Garrison. We're just going to skip over some of this because the conclusion is what I really love in this. Conclusion. The court does not take this action lightly. However, after considering the gravity of counsel's actions and possibly in her shoes, the relevant case law, the court imposes sanctions as discussed accordingly. It is ordered finding that counsel, Marin Bram or Bam, counsel has violated Rule 11 of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and imposing sanctions as follows. Pro hoc vice status, gone. Counsel Marin Bam is removed as counsel of record for plaintiff in this matter. Plaintiff's opening brief shall be stricken. No later than 3 business days from the date of this order, counsel shall serve a copy of this order on the plaintiff. No later than 10 business days from the date of this order, she shall transmit a letter to each of the 3 judges whom she attributed fictitious cases in her opening brief, Reyes, Liberty, and John C. Boyle. In her letter, counsel shall notify each judge of the use, basically saying, here, daddy, take the switch and spank me. And it was attributed to that judge. Attach a copy of her opening brief with the fictitious case highlighted and copy of this order. No later than 10 business days from the date of this order, counsel shall transmit a copy of this order to every judge who presides over any case in which she is an attorney of record, which means if she's got 100 cases, she has to transmit a copy of this order to every single one of them. So this shine a little light on me needs to come out, and it should come out. Because anytime that you're doing this kind of crap, that I think this is appropriate. The clerk of court's office is directed to serve a copy of this order on the Washington State Bar Association, of which she is a member, so that that bar association may take any action it deems appropriate, whatever that might be. We're just leave it up to them. If counsel is a member of any other state bar, which is possible, you could be barred in multiple states to practice law. In that state's bar office no later than 10 business days from the day of this order is entered. It's also further ordered that the counsel shall file a certification with this court within 14 days from the date of this order, affirming counsel has complied with sanctions 3 through 6 above. So if you're wondering what this means, the judge is saying, listen, you're going to file a certification saying that you followed all of this, because if we find out you even missed one single case, more sanctions will be brought against you. Failure to comply with this order may result in further sanctions. So basically, if you don't send it, you're going to get sanctioned. And if you don't certify it that you sent it, you're going to get sanctioned. And if you missed anything, you're going to get sanctioned. It's further ordered that within 45 days from the date plaintiff is served with a copy of this order, plaintiff's new counsel shall file a notice of appearance, or if plaintiff wishes to represent herself, plaintiff shall file a notice with the court stating that she will proceed as a self-represented party. The court will issue an amended scheduling order after receiving that notice, dated this day, the 14th of August, 2025. I like to see that judges are cracking down on shenanigans, because I think it's getting a little bit way out of hand. She got bitch slapped. Yes, she got severely bitch slapped, Star. I mean, this is what I'm saying it's important to remember that attorneys are held to a much higher standard than a lot of other people. There's a reason why attorneys have spent however many years and however many dollars going through law school, because they're being held to a higher standard. And it is that law school that should be, making sure that their students aren't pulling this kind of crap. I mean, how would it look, for example, for me to file some sort of pleading in a case that was, me just as a private individual, to file something in a case that didn't go to any citations, or the law was completely misapplied? What do you think would happen? Now, unless an attorney calls attention to those mistakes and says, these don't apply to any law whatsoever, it looks like it was AI hallucinations, and files that with a court and says, here is this case right here, Your Honor. This was decided on the 14th. And then also apply all of those same pieces in there. I think you'll find a lot of these fools that want to file ridiculous AI shit would probably stop. Just saying. I was just going to ask that. Is this the stuff that they're getting away with in law school? Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes this is the kind of crap that they're pulling in law school. And if you think about it, how many students are in that law school? Probably quite a few of them. So there's a possibility that they're misquoting citations. And this is the generation that's coming up behind us. Actually, the generation behind them is doing the same thing. So we've got 3 generations of people that are pulling this crap. What happens is, do you think AI takes over and destroys itself because nobody will trust it anymore and they won't use it? I mean, that's where it's going. It's getting to that point where I think that AI, it's not that it's bad or anything. It's just being misused. I think it'll just end up eating itself. Research institutions. Yeah, exactly. AI is also a major problem in research institutions. References cited that are fabricated by AI. Right. And that's the thing. If you're doing any sort of research, for example, you might want to make sure that those citations or those legal citations or health citations or anything like that actually points to something. Here's an example that I can give you that falls into the realm of stuff that I do. If you're writing code, say you're writing code out for a that's like written in Pascal or written in HTML or CSS or anything like that. You're writing some code out, and you ask it that you want it to do X, Y, or Z. Now, I wouldn't personally know whether there was a mistake with what AI was creating. I would have no clue. But a person that actually does write code, and this is why it's so important for you to have people that actually know how to write code, they could look at it and tell you there was a mistake or no, it's good to go, usually within a pretty quick glance. Or they'd be able to pull up that program, be able to look at what you're asking it to do and see if it's doing what it's supposed to do and find the errors in it. And I use AI to keep grammar and spelling police off my back. Yeah, same. There's nothing wrong with that. AI is a major problem in reading. Yeah, and that's the beauty of using these kinds of programs, is there's so much that you can do with them, but you also have to have the knowledge and the intelligence to back it up and make sure that it's not garbage. And that's the biggest problem that these folks are running into. And as you're going to find out, attorneys should be held to a higher standard, same way as a doctor should be held to a higher standard. There's a reason why they go to school and learn this kind of stuff, so they know it. Not just know it, they can live it, breathe it, feel it. Every single fiber of them can understand it. So what happens? You end up with crappier attorneys that are just basically looking to make quick paycheck. You end up with crazy people filing things in court cases that they shouldn't be filing. I mean, what happens whenever it gets found out that an attorney is doing this kind of shenanigans? It looks like AIM might be indulging the use of digital doobies for hallucinations. That's a possibility, Buck Naked. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with the digital doobie? I mean, tell me. Doesn't hurt anybody except for, well, clients and possibly yourself. That's where it gets a little bit funky. I mean, if you have the intelligence to back it, then that's what you should be doing. Thank you very much, Buck Naked. So I'm going to be looking at some other stuff, and I because these kinds of things always interest me. But tonight, I'm looking, seeing what time it is because I've only got a limited amount of time. Tonight I will be over with Mo in the deep end, and that's where I'm going to send you guys after this stream ends. We're gonna say hello to Mo, show her a little bit of love. Tonight we're going to be going over the Koberger documents. We're going to be having a little bit of fun where we will be well, I don't know if it's always fun, but as you should know, we don't get into every single document's details of the blood and gore because the descriptions do not need to be out there every single time that we read one of these documents. And there's numerous ones. I think we're probably about 1/10 of the way through those documents. And some of it we'll probably skip over. I haven't seen the documents, so they're all a cold read for me. But I'm able to, both Mo and I agreed that we weren't going to go into the gore of it because, glorifying that, I think that man would relive every single bit of it. We don't want to do that. We don't want to give them that kind of pull. So like I said, tonight over on Mo in the Deep Ends, go check that out. And I may do a stream later after that. We shall see. I've got some documents that I wanted to go over and some more of the 911 calls, and I'll be digging into those possibly if not tomorrow, if not tonight, then tomorrow I'll be digging into those. I have to see how tired I am. This old man needs to get some sleep. Mr. Gimpy, hop along, sir, maestro. Well. But with that, everyone, have a wonderful day. I will see you, very soon. Peace.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, morning, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Oh yeah.
Peace, y'all.